We continue now with our theme of highlights from Talkback. This is installment 30. For today's demonstration, I'll be using my Pixel 4 running Android 12 and Talkback 12.1. For speech services, I am using the Google Speech Services. In our last installment, that's installment 29, we saw the Talkback voice commands. Today we conclude the one-finger angle gestures by looking at the gesture for pulling down the notification shade. I am on my home screen and will now navigate my way to the Talkback menu. For those of you with phones that support the multi-finger gestures, of course, all you need to do is to tap with 3 fingers to activate the Talkback menu. If your phone happens to not have the multi-finger gesture support, then what you need to do is draw a line downward and curve to the right to activate the Talkback menu. In support of those whose phones do not have the multi-finger gesture support, I'll be using the one-finger gesture, drawing a line downward and curving to the right just to activate my Talkback menu. I will now draw that line downward and curve to the right to invoke my Talkback menu.
Talkback menu.
I am now in the Talkback menu, and if you're familiar with these entries, you know that the next thing that we want to do is to tap on the Talkback settings. I'll now put my finger down and tap on Talkback settings.
Talkback settings.
Here is my Talkback settings, and I'll now tap here to activate.
Talkback settings. Navigate up. Button, out of list.
We are now in the Talkback settings. And again, if you're familiar with this series, you know that now we need to scroll down the page. And if this is your first time, the way to scroll down the page is by putting your 2 fingers in the middle of the phone and then gliding those fingers upwards, and that scrolls down your page. The reverse of that is scrolling up. I'll now put my 2 fingers in the middle of the phone, glide them upwards, and scroll down the page.
Showing items 3 to 14 of 14.
I will now put my finger down and find and tap Customize Gestures.
Customize gestures.
Here is Customize Gestures, and this is what I want. I'll tap here to activate the Customize Gestures.
Customize gestures. Navigate up. Button, out of list.
The next thing I would like to do is to change my granularities to Headings command. In other words, I want to change my movement to headings. If you've been listening to this, the way that we change our granularities is one of 3 methods. 1, you could scrub up and down with 1 finger to change your granularity, and that's the method I prefer, or swipe down from the top with 3 fingers to change your granularities. You can also swipe from left to right or right to left with 3 fingers to change your granularity if your phone supports the multi-finger gestures. For the sake of those whose phones do not have the multi-finger gestures, I'll use the scrubbing movement of swiping up and down with 1 finger in one fluid movement to change my granularity. I'll do that now until it says Headings.
Links. Controls. Headings.
I am on the Headings navigation. And now that I am on the headings, all that I need to do now is swipe down with 1 finger until it says 1 finger angle. So I'll swipe down with 1 finger.
1 finger. Heading, in list.
This is our 1 finger heading. Swipe down again.
1 finger back and forth. Heading.
1 finger back and forth. Swipe down again.
1 finger angle. Heading. Showing items 7 to 16 of 51.
This is the heading we're looking for, the 1 finger angle. The last entry in this heading that we will be looking at is the pulling down of the notification, and that would be the swiping from left to right and then curving downwards to bring down the notification shade. I'll put down my finger to show you what I'm talking about.
Swipe right then down, notifications.
Swipe right then down, open notifications. So what you do is swipe from the left with one finger, that you swipe from left to right, and then curve downwards, and that activates the notification shade. This is a screen reader based navigation, but if you want to use a native navigation system instead, the one I prefer, then using two fingers, swipe down from the top of the phone, and that should pull down your notification shade. For the sake of this gesture navigation demonstration, I will use that screen reader based gesture, and that's swiping from left then downward to bring down my notification shade. Let's go ahead and do that.
Notification shade.
That pulls down my notification shade.
Expanded. Blind Android
And there's our blind users Telegram group. Like I've always said though, if you do not like to use that gesture, you could always tap there to go change it to something else. But for now, you know how to go about using the screen reader based gesture to pull down your notification shade. And this concludes this segment on the one finger angle gestures.